Good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you're joining us from today. My name is Sarah and I'm the Program and Event Manager at the Reactor in Sydney. Welcome to another Microsoft Reactor Sydney live stream event and part 2 of our Devs Down Under series. I would like to welcome today Yawa Iqbal. Yawa is a solution architect and consultant. He has vast experience in delivering enterprise solutions to businesses using Microsoft technologies. This is an introductory session about Microsoft's model-driven apps. Learn what model-driven apps are, how they look and feel, what skills are required, and there will be definitely time at the end for questions today in this session. It'll be about approximately 60 minutes with about 10 minutes at the end for questions. And at the conclusion of this session, we will also share a link to our feedback survey in the Q&A section. And if you have time to fill that out this evening, that would be great. And if you'd like to reference a session after today, there will be a version uploaded to YouTube in the next 24 to 48 hours. And without further ado, I'd like to hand the floor over to Yawa to begin. So Yawa, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Really appreciate. Thank you, everyone. My name is Yavar Iqbal. And before proceeding, I will quickly check my slides. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. Uh, Today, I am presenting Let's Learn Model-Driven Apps. Uh, let's begin the session. Here, I'm connecting from Melbourne, Australia. Here, we have 8 p.m. So, good night, good evening, greetings wherever you have joined us from. And let's begin the topic. Before I, okay, my slides probably are not running. Okay, so I'm presenting Let's Learn Model-Driven Apps and agenda for today. First of all, let me clarify why I'm presenting this session. Who should be, I will say, target audience, and who can get benefit from this session. I will wrap up all these answers. While working with in many different organizations, I observed many times people started working on model-driven apps. A few times they were background was from some other technology or platform or programming language. Sometimes they were coming from business side, they were business users previously. And also I thought having such a session will be beneficial for fresh graduates. They may be looking to have some guidance, like what are a few areas where which they can adopt as their career. So unfortunately 1 hour is not that enough time to learn or teach everything about model driven app. But what I will try to do is give a little understanding and taste of model driven apps. We will cover some basic things about model driven apps, like what they are, what sort of features they have, and experience of developing model driven apps. And also, of course, there will be question and answers in last. So I will love to have any questions if you have, and I will try my best to respond. And before that, I think it will be a good idea if I quickly introduce myself. Uh, I'm living in Melbourne, Australia. I am a solution architect and consultant, and I am involved in Microsoft communities as well as a blogger, speaker, and event organizer. So let's get up and move towards the topic. What are model-driven apps? Let's start with basic question. What are model-driven apps? Model-driven apps are, just consider, model-driven apps are a type of apps, and they are, let me elaborate what does mean by type of apps. Under Power Platform, we have Power Apps, and there are two type of apps. One is Canvas app, and other is model-driven app. In this session, we are particularly focused just on model-driven apps, and model-driven is type of app which is data driven, it is driven by data model. Let me focus further. What does it mean? It means process of app development starts by designing or modeling data tables, and later all application development will follow that. But there are a few other reasons for which model driven apps have become popular. Rapid application development, no code, low code are some sort of approaches or concepts in software development. And basically, these are just to facilitate users, not only developers but also business users. They allow quicker development of softwares, but also development of software with no coding or even with minimum coding as well. So I will sum up. All these concepts are part of model driven apps, and that these are the reason behind for which model driven apps have become popular. But that's not the only reason. Another reason is for which my for which power apps or particularly model driven apps have become popular are power apps are part of power platform. And under power platform, there are four basic core services or products. We have Power BI. We have, I think I can pick pointer here. We have Power BI. We have Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agent. Power BI is, of course, for reporting, dashboard creation, and analytics. Power Apps, which as I explained before, there are two different type of Power Apps, Canvas apps and model driven apps. But today, our focus will be just model driven apps. Power Automate is a very elegant and great service offered by Microsoft. It allows creation of workflows, and even we can do integrations between different systems using this service. And finally, Power Virtual Agent. Using this, we can develop chatbots without any coding skills. So these all four are really amazing services and products. And but the good thing is, if they are used together, they we can do marvelous things. We can do a lot of things, and there are a lot of possibilities. So that is the other reason for which power apps and particularly model driven apps have become more popular. To someone like who I'm expecting will be new to model driven apps, I think it will not easy to just start telling what are features of model driven apps. But I have tried to pick some of the features just to explain and just to give a little idea what is a model driven apps, and what we can do, or what features make model driven apps famous or popular in an industry. I will quickly go through and try to explain it, but please don't feel overwhelmed, because I know this is just a text. After a couple of more slides, we will go to app creation and we will have a live demo. As I explained before, model driven app process starts by modeling data. So in model driven apps, we create tables of data, and those tables we can have of different columns, and these columns can have different data types. For example, if some data is string, we can have string type. For numerics, we have numeric types, and there are many more types. Relationship, that is relationship between data tables. And basically this is something which give more strength to tables. We can develop different relations between tables, like master and child table, and fetch data from tables respectively. These are pretty much standard database concept, but usually this is the start of model driven apps. We start designing our tables, and after that flow of development follows. Once we have developed our tables, we can create forms. Forms are used for data entry, for editing data, and even for viewing data. But other than that, we specifically has views. Views are, just imagine, queries or list of records which we can filter, we can sort, and even we can perform search on views. So that is another feature. Similarly, based on the data we have, tables we have developed, we can produce or provide charts. Similarly, dashboards. Dashboards would be something specific to a user role to facilitate them, which may be combining different things for a user. Another thing which is out of box and available is search. After once we have created our tables, search when search provided by ModelDriven Apps is really powerful. We can do a lot of things by searching, and there are many options and configurations we can do. Security is really another awesome feature of model-driven apps. Uh, from very basic security to very refined control, we can decide who can see our records, who can see or edit our records, and if, like, for all data operations, for all CRUD operations, who, if we want to give someone permission to just to see, they can see. If we want to give permissions to edit, they can edit. And that is really a big list, whatever are the possibilities. And we can implement very comprehensive security model using frameworks, out of box provided security model, and everything we do is just with some configurations. Business rules, workflow, and power automate. These three components or features are relevant to automation. I have mentioned already Power Automate, that is external, but it is still a part of, as a service we can use inside model driven apps. But using these three features, we can automate and create workflows and do many things which should be happening automatically. Even we can, using Power Automate, we can create integrations with other systems, and possibilities are really unlimited. Data sharing, we can share data, we can very in a fine way, we can decide who we are going to share data. Like, for example, someone may not have access to our data, but if we want, we can share our data with someone. Data import and export are another, is another set of, another pair of nice features. We can get data out of model driven app, and we can push data inside model driven app as well. And there are many ways we can do, and some of them are like using a CSV file or an Excel file, Word template, and Excel template. These are two another very nice features of model driven app. Using templates, we can populate data dynamically and give a sort of opportunity to produce reports. Email templates, using those templates, we can set on occasions automatically email being sent, and also, like, we can set to get data from our records and mention those data in our emails. Another very nice feature is model driven apps integration with SharePoint is used basically for document storage, and with model driven app, it has out of box integration. Though we will need to do some configurations, but we don't need to do any development. Just in a few minutes, we can configure a document library, and we can start storing our documents in SharePoint. Again, we have, though I my emphasis was low code, no code, and rapid development capabilities of model driven app, but of course there is room for coding and customizations. So if we want to do something which is not possible with just with configurations, we still have a room and we still have opportunity to customize and do advanced things. So that is still a room. PCF controls, that is another nice feature of model driven apps. Other than standard set of controls like text box, radio buttons, drop down list, these are set of controls which are developed by community with different people like you and me, and these are available freely to use. So that is really a big library, and every day more and more controls are being developed. So basically, in this slide, I just have tried to summarize a few things, a few features, just to give a little idea, like what are some of the features. But believe me, I could not cover all features, because every, my model driven apps already have a lot of feature, and with every release, every few months, new features are being released. So let's, with this understanding, start and move further. I will next go to demo, but since this session was aimed particularly, and I was targeting to the people who are new to model driven apps, or maybe they have comparatively less knowledge of model driven app which they want to improve, I thought maybe instead of I open a model driven app and show, instead of that, it will be better if we try to create a model driven app and do some small things. This way I will able to share the experience of model driven app configurations and development, and also we will able to explore some features, and basic emphasize will be to see how quickly we can like do, make things happen quickly just with some configurations. With that, I will skip my slides and bring my browser. Okay, I have shared my browser, and let me quickly verify if my browser is visible. It looks good. Okay, so let's proceed with that. This is maybe let me bring it here. So this is a maker or make environment create where we create canvas app and model driven apps. To get started, usually I anyone will just come here, click new app, and select model driven app. Just a few basic configurations we will give here. Name of our apps. Name of app will be, let's see, session demo MD app. For now, I'm not doing any other change, or just leave as it is. We will say done. It may take a couple of seconds or half a minute. Hopefully, it will not that long. And that's it. It has just created shelter of a shelter of model driven app. Now, don't be overwhelmed. Just we will, for now we will just check a few things which are relevant to proceed. For example, to proceed, first of all, I will need to do some configurations in inside map designer. And if I keep these one and save and close, okay, I will need to provide what this link is. I will select here entity, and here I will select account, and that's it. So basically, what uh, what I have done is, if I come back to app designer, one of the components which by configurations we configure is sitemap. Here we can tell what will be our sort of links which will be appearing in app, and these are a few other components which we can add. Now just imagine this is just a container, and we will tell which components are part of this app. I will save it, and as it is, I will need to publish it first. After publishing, we will just try to run and see what has happened with the configuration which we did. I will play from this button, and that's it. This is just a empty or very basic model driven app we just have created. You can see this was the name of the app which we gave. And if I can relate now, under sitemap, uh, we were to provide some links, and we can you can identify that link is here. So this is what we have got now, and let me now go back and explain a few more things. Under a model driven apps, there can be many different components, there can be different tables, and under a table there can be views, charts, dashboards, and even forms. For now we will just quickly add, maybe first of all let's change this label from new group to, let's say, let's call it maybe tables. I will add another link here, sub area. Same way, first of all I will rename it. I think I first need to configure it and tell what type of link it is. I will again say entity. Quickly, if I can describe these as one, dashboards are another type of components. We can configure links to dashboards from here as well. We can configure entities, web resources. Web resources can be a HTML page, or something which is renderable in browser. We can set a URL. So clicking on that link, control will go to that URL. For demo purpose, we will just proceed with entity. With model driven apps, as we just have created out of box, many tables are already created. These are system tables. We can create more, and it is common all the time we need to create tables as per requirements. Also, many times we need to modify existing tables. Sometimes we add new columns, sometimes change the name of columns or tables. So these things are all possible. Let's proceed further with adding a new entity here. I will select contact, save it, and publish it. Whenever we do some sort of change which may be relevant to UI, always it is better to publish the app. Let's go and quickly see if those changes are reflected here or not. Okay, I think my maybe browser may be caching. So let me try to hard refresh. That's it. We can see, based on our configuration, our changes, now we can see there are two tables and links to those tables are available. This is what was already there. Let's I just have explained now what the sort of experience of creating app and how easy it is to configure sitemaps, the links on this left side. Let's try to go and do some more things, some more configuration and changes in our app. Back here in Power App Maker, session demo MD app was the app which we just have created. From more command, I can go to edit, but maybe let me go to data, and we can see the tables from here. So these are tables which are already available in this instance of Dataverse. Uh, if we want to create a new table, very easy. We can create new table, give a name of table, some other details, and once it is created, we can we can add more columns to table. For now, I will straight away go to a existing table and we will start doing some changes. Let's go to account table. Since we have added link to account, probably you can like relate a few things, a couple of things which I mentioned before, like relationship between tables. give a hint about business rules. These are a few things which we can do for sort of automation, views, forms, dashboards, charts, and data. So all these options are now we are seeing are relevant to account. I think let's for start let's go to form. First of all, let me demonstrate what is current look and feel of form. Form is whenever a entity is created, as a part of entity, a couple of forms are created. Same is true for some views, some dashboards, and even charts as well. Let's see what is the look and feel of form which have been created automatically with entity. So this is the form. Let's try to do some changes in this form. For example, maybe let's a few things what we will do. Maybe segregate these fields. Maybe remove these image fields from here, or add a similar section and put images there. And another thing I will do, just like these tabs, summary and details, we will try to add another tab here. So back to app, under account. Okay, I think I already have opened it. I will go to forms. Now these are forms which are already created and available. I want to modify this main form, so I will open it. Now this is a excuse me. This is a particular area where we are designing form designer. From here we can see there are a few parts of form. For example, header, summary is the middle area, then detail is this tab, summary was the first tab here, and footer is this one. So if I go to summary, maybe I will remove this. I will just press delete and remove this field from form. I want to remove the image to field as well. That is fine. We If we expand this area from components, we can see these are components relevant to layout. I will pick a section and bring it here. I think it maybe it just have gone down. Let's add another one. Okay, this is a section. Now if I go back table columns, I can pick any of the fields. These are all existing fields which are created, and let's pick some of the fields. For example, if I try to search for the fields which I removed, image, this is image 2. Okay, this is one change which I have done. And let's add a section similar to this one here as well. Tab, sorry. Again, back to components, one column tab, and new tab has been added here. Under tab again, I can put a few sections, and similarly under sections I can put whatever fields I want. So I will try to maybe bring address city, address fax. Let's bring country as well. So for now, let's say that's it. That these are all changes which we want to do in form. Same exercise, same drill. I will save my form, publish it, and after that we will try to go back and try to reassess this form and see if these changes are reflected there or not. I can see there are a couple of questions as well. Maybe we will keep questions in end. So I have enough time to wrap and explain what things I'm trying to communicate today. Okay, with that, this is contact. We need to go back to, okay, this was my tab. Just refreshed it. I think again I will need to browser maybe caching, so I will need to hard refresh it. So we can see new tab has been added. Here we have new section, fields are there. And what else we change here? We just removed image fields from here. We added these two fields in this section. So these are a few changes. The thing which I was trying to explain was how easy it is to modify form just with some configurations. Now, if you have background of some programming languages, maybe ASP, you can imagine like writing code for all these sort of things, how much time it takes. And this way, just by clicking and configuring a few things, we can do many things. I think that's, let's say that's it for form. Uh, we will try to see some more areas and do some changes there. Let's go to views and see what are views, what they do. Again, these are views which are available whenever an entity is created. A set of views is created as well. We can create custom views too. I will say add a view, but before that, let me quickly demonstrate what are views and what role they are doing. If I come here, I can see these are different views. Views are basically just queries. So these are queries basically list some records. So all these views are existing. If I click the all accounts, it will show me all accounts. Active accounts, data may be same, but yeah. And if I say inactive account, there will be, I guess, no data because this is just a trial instance I have created a few days back. So that is probably, we got the idea of views. Now let's see, we will try to create a view and add some columns in it. Under name, we will say demo view. Hit. And again, similar to form designer, we have view designer. Here we can, same way, we can pick and drag and drop our columns here. Maybe if I can find some interesting column, or let's pick anything randomly to save time. Let's bring account number. Let's bring address. Another area where we can do the same activity which I'm doing is from this plus button. I can say maybe address country, maybe address fax. Looks like by chance I don't have any data in these fields, so but that is fine. The other things which we can do here are sort. We can set which column data should be sorted. So I can choose any of these. I can configure, okay, data should be sorted by these account name or maybe account number. Let's make it sorted by account number. And edit filter is a really nice thing which I want to explain. We can put some criteria for our queries or list. For example, I can say where account name equals maybe account 22, And you can see based on this filter it has further removed one record. I don't have a lot of records, but I guess you get the idea. With filters we can do a lot of things. We can select all any of our columns and put some conditions like criteria should be value should be equal to something, not equal, contain, don't contain, begin with, and some other logical operators. Let me remove this so at least we have some rows here. I will save it, and after that we'll publish it as usual so we can see these changes. Hard refresh directly, I think. Okay, page has been loaded, and demo view was new view which we just created. Coming here we can see these. This is data. By chance, I for these records I don't have any values in these columns. Okay, let's come back and try to do a few more changes and see how they are reflected. I think we are getting a little tight from time side. Business rules, that is another. Let's try to create a business rule. If I just say add a business rule, there are a few things for which I can configure and some code will be generated behind. What are those things? For any fields, I can say I can put some condition, and these are actions which I can add. For example, I can set visibility. I can say, okay, if this is the value, make other field visible or hide it. Set field value, and I can set default value, and I can even configure a field to be business required. Let's do, maybe we try to add here a condition. If account name equals to, let's pick another value, maybe phone number will be good, or account number. If account number is, if account number is maybe 0, if this is the condition, we want to say make it required. It is not something very useful. Maybe set a field value. If someone enters 0, we will do something with this one. Instead of 0, we will maybe make it say 1000. And or maybe instead of that, let me try another thing and add here a error message. If field is account number, if value is 0, not be account number. So this is just an example, and I will save it. Validate, since basically with business rules automatically some rules are generated behind, so it is always better to validate, and after validating I will need to activate it. By activating, basically I'm applying this rule to entity, so it has been hopefully applied. Let's go back again, hard refresh. I will try to create a new account here. Okay, account number. Okay, looks like I don't have that field on form here. I have account name. Okay, let's add that field first. Quickly, I will go back to forms, open same account form. From columns, I will pick account number column and put it here. Save it and publish it. Okay, we have this field now available. If I try to add 0, I can see that condition has triggered a error message. So this is another example like how easy it is to, just by doing some configurations, we can implement some logic and make things happen automatically. Quickly, I mentioned Power Automate. At the time, I don't have created any flow, but you can see from this environment, we can trigger a flow for a particular record as well. So let's do a couple of things. I think we have a few more minutes. Uh, Quickly, let's do two things. We will add two new fields and bring them on form. And let's see, adding a new field to form under columns. I will just say add column. Maybe I will add a field of Twitter handler. Here I can select what is data type. We have many different data types which we can choose based on our requirement. Uh, we have text area where we want to type a longer text, email, URL, phone number, and many other. But for now, let's make it just a text type. Here we can configure, will it be a required field or a optional field. Third option is recommended. So by recommended, it will just show a sign like it is recommended to type here. But for now, we will let's make it required and done. Let's create after that another field and we will quickly another type is choice and choices, where we can select sort of concept of drop down, but with choices we can select multiple values as well. Let's imagine we want to capture for our account or for a company what social media channels they are using. Under choices, uh, choices will be options. These are available option if I want to use any of these, but let's go with creating a new choice. Here I will say maybe first option is Facebook, second option is LinkedIn, and third option is Twitter. So we have created two fields. Let's save our table, and after that a little similar drill, we will go back to form, add these new fields, and try to see this change. I will go directly to summary under table columns. I think field name was social. It was Twitter. Where I should add it? Let's add it randomly under next to website. Social media channels used. So let's add it here. Now you can see since I added Twitter as a required, it already has placed a static next to it. Let's do one more thing. For example, we want to maybe hide this field. If I hide it from here, field is still there, but just it has been hidden. A couple of more changes. For example, let's this is a section, and I can change its label as well, but I will say I don't want to give any label, so I will hide label at all. And let's save this form and publish it. I think it is done. Quickly we'll try to refresh. Okay, that's it. Fields are added. If I try to save, since it was required, it is showing me required field must be filled. I can say, and social media channels, I can select some of these here. So that was pretty much our changes. I think we are really short to time, and I will quickly in just 2 minutes complete rest of the slides. So after that, I mean, you have seen like what sort of experience it is. Creating an app is really easy. So what can be done to learn more? Since that was not enough time where within some minutes I can teach, but I have collected a few resources. Power App Community Plan, that link is where you can get your free community plan and environment to start using for learning development. Microsoft Learn has a particular path which is create a model driven application in Power App. I have created a short link for that here. I think we can post these links to to later to the event page as well. App in a Day is a really nice community initiative. Basically, Microsoft has provided some resources, and almost everywhere in most of the part of the world, App in a Day is conducted. This is free 1 day training. You can go there, you can join online. An instructor will walk you through from some exercises, and you will easily able to learn about model driven apps. Power Apps Zero to Model Driven. That is a paid course, one of the very experienced Microsoft MVP in community. Julie Yak has created that. If you are interested in paid courses, that can be an option. And last link which I want to mention is, it is not link, basically for getting help or for learning more what you should do if there are any questions or difficulties, what would be your go-to spot? Microsoft Power App Community. There are forums, videos, and many more learning resources. I will recommend joining these. And with that, these here are my connection details. I will love to connect with you. If there is anything I can assist or you need any assistance from me, I will really love to do that. Please connect with me. And I will say thank you once again. Thank you to all attendees, Sarah, Michael, Microsoft Reactor Sydney team for providing me this opportunity. And we will quickly see if there are any questions. One question which I can see here is, are my model driven apps good for performance intense development? Model driven apps are basically good for business applications or transactional applications. So if you are if someone is considering to develop a intense or where a lot of data input or output is happening, there can be some ways where model driven capabilities can be leveraged. But entirely I will not say model driven are apps are best for performance intensive development. But it will depend on like what we are trying to do. With a good architecture, of course, a few things, many things can be done. But as a rule of thumb, model driven apps are good for business and transactional sort of applications. I don't see if there are any more questions.
Yep, so we do have a couple more questions here, Yawa. So is there a desktop version of model-driven apps too? Did you manage to answer that question?
Yep, I could not see that, but thanks for picking that question, Sarah. Uh, since model-driven app and Canvas app both are sort of cloud-based services where development is in cloud, we host applications in cloud. So I'm not aware if any Microsoft has any initiative like that. But with relevant to note about model-driven, but Canvas app we can use as a offline as well. But if you are asking a desktop version entirely, that is nothing is available as of now, as per my knowledge.
Great. So I'm just going to put one more a question up on the screen. It says, what are career prospects of model-driven apps?
I think that is really a great question, and it was pretty much what I was trying to convey as well. At the time, there are a lot of opportunities, projects, jobs for people who can develop modern driven and canvas apps as well. To get started, one may not find a job just with model driven app, but it is not impossible. Having some knowledge of model driven apps and Power Automate, any fresh graduate can easily find a job, and that is a good career. Like if someone is interested in uh, adopting technology or low code, no code, or even coding based development as well, I think that is really a nice platform. And in future, Power App developer or a model driven app developer, after having experience of a few years, they can become architect or solution designer. Hope I could answer that question.
Great. And so Sandesh has also sent through a question, which I've just put on the screen as well. Do we have any design interface for defining or updating the data model in model-driven apps like Model View in Power BI?
Do you have any design interface for this? I'm not sure. I think design interface. Let me quickly. I think I still have open. By design interface, I mean, I'm not sure what Sandeep has asked here, but a few things which come to mind from this question, I will show. For example, under tables here, we can create a table, create a new table, and once a table has been created, uh, we can develop their relationship between different tables. So that looks like maybe Sandesh was asking. But please, Sandesh, if you can clarify what. I'm sorry, I didn't get very clearly, but I think you are asking where if there is a user interface where we can develop data model. So these will be, but there is nothing like if you are asking similar to SQL Server Management Studio, we have like we design and based on that. Uh, Unfortunately, something like is not available yet, but still these are pretty much sort of user interface, sort of configurable interfaces where we can design. We just give names, we select data types. This way, we can design our data model.
Great. Well, just one quick last question from Sandesh again. Um, are there any performance analyzers within Power Apps to optimize the performance of the apps?
Sandesh, that is often I have experience happen usually when we are part of an enterprise app development. One thing we need to consider is that will be a user-based licensing with model-driven app. For example, since it is hosted in cloud, so if there are, for example, 100 users, they will have 100 licenses, and based on that, infrastructure will be expanding or shrinking. So usually I have not seen any performance impacts, but as a part of development, there are best practices which a developer, app maker, or solution architect can employ to make best performing applications.
Great. Well, thank you so much for the question, Sandesh, and thank you to Yawa very much for joining us today. Thank you to everyone for tuning in from wherever you've joined us from today. Have a good rest of your morning, your afternoon, and your evening. And thank you very much again to Yawa for joining us here again online for being part of our Devs Down Under series. We look forward to having you back again at the Microsoft Reactor live stream event. And to everyone else and to Yawa, have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate. Thanks all. Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
Thanks. Bye.